Hey traders, Raghee here, and in tonight's TradeForexFutures.com free video, I'm going to recap a couple of the things that happened during the morning chat. And obviously, we saw a lot of the volatility in that euro that initially got traders thinking, wow, we're going to see more euro strength until Raghee dropped the bomb on the market about potential June action. Now, this is just more verbal intervention. What's really going to be interesting is once June comes around, what's he actually going to do? Now, a stronger euro does the ECB no good. So obviously, I understand the market should expect some sort of verbal judo here to try to knock this strengthening euro down. And what's interesting is that strengthening euro has been a lot of the catalyst for the dollar weakness that we've seen. So if you're looking at that triple bottom breakdown, if you're looking at the test of 79, this is not movement of the dollar's accord. This is actually a movement based upon the euro. And I think part of this is because the euro remains the wild card here. The overall opinion of what the Fed is going to do, their course is charted. That Fed's more or less a foregone conclusion. What the ECB may or may not do, that's the wild card, which is why I think the euro is able to yank the chain of the dollar the way it has been able to be yanked as of late. And I mean yanking it through some significant levels. That triple bottom breakdown, not a small feat. Testing 79 on the dollar index, not a small feat. So let's go ahead and talk about this euro pound, because this happened during the morning chat, and it probably is a great example of two things. One, capitalizing on what I think is still overall a euro weakness story, and capitalizing on something I call catch the wick. Now, this was a setup that we put in the chart of the day and had talked about since the 5th of, actually no, we talked about this on the 7th, I believe, and that was the pound. The pound strength. The pound is a re-emerging strength story. And no, we did talk about this on the 5th. So members, you know we talked about this in the morning of the 5th. So the re-emerging pound strength story has been one that we've been looking at across a number of pairs. But this euro pound was uniquely positioned to take advantage of kind of a shallow downtrend. Not a great downtrend, but a shallow one. So there was organization where we have predominantly red grab candles, and more of a 4 o'clock, not a 4 to 6, but a 4 o'clock. This wave angle had clarity. It's smooth. It's relatively established. It's been moving down this way since April, and it's respected. On the test that we've had, the wave has been able to act as dynamic resistance. So setting up a swing short here, despite the fact that we have what could be a triple bottom, in fact, we could be seeing a confirmation of that right now, despite the potential for a triple bottom, despite the fact that it is a shallow meandering downtrend, the one thing the euro pound has going for it is it is a fairly sedate pair. So there's not a lot of risk by way of what this pair typically does. So if you look at the PMR ranges, and we talk about these quite a bit in the morning, if you look at those PMR ranges, it's a market that you can actually handle even if your tolerance for risk is rather low. Catch the wick means there is a price that we're looking for a quick burst of volatility to come up, to grab, and then for the market to succumb to the overall direction that we've seen. So while I wouldn't call this great directional bias, this was a swing short with two conservative entries, 82.35 and 82.50. And Raghee triggered both these off for us. The initial strength on the first few minutes of the ECB press conference this morning rallied this euro up pretty strongly, and then it was actually that comment about that little wink and a smile comment that put the market kind of on notice and weakened the euro. Now, I've been waiting for euro weakness for some time, taking advantage of euro weakness against open positions we have in the euro Aussie, the euro Kiwi, which are just firing away on all cylinders, especially after last night's good data out of China. Great job numbers out of Australia. We're going to get some more data tonight by way of, well, let's talk about it first. Wednesday night we had a terrific employment change, a one-tick drop in the unemployment rate in Australia. The trade balance out of China was solid, and between those two economic reports, we saw a really nice push stronger in the Aussie. And then we're going to have the RBA tonight. But what's great is, what I'm getting is that stronger Aussie with a weaker euro here. So for those of you in that euro-Aussie position, you're seeing a lot of terrific follow-through towards our profit targets. But this euro pound was really interesting this morning because not only did it trigger shortly after 8:30, it was a catch-the-wick opportunity that if you have that parked pending order, which I am a huge advocate of, once you have your trade set up, built out, your risk-reward ratios, your exits by way of stop loss and profit targets, go ahead and park your order, at least your entry. And those of you that have parked your entry at 82.35 got that fill, no problem. And then the market, again, sunk down. And what's interesting is, yes, it is a fundamental event that triggered it, but we were following an overall story here, which was actually pound strength. So the play here, the short sell on the euro pound, was primarily driven by what I think is going to be a reemergence of pound strength. And we'll be talking more about that in the coming days and weeks. But it was the euro volatility that gave us this opportunity. We've now sunk down through 2 profit targets, all before the European close, which is a heck of a way to begin and end a morning trading session. So what I want to, again, stress here is park those orders when you know what your entries are, even if it seems unlikely, because you can get these catch-the-wick opportunities that happen pretty darn quickly. I mean, this is how fast this happened. Okay, we actually sold into it because we believe in overall the pound strength story against a euro weakness story, which is what that short sell was looking for. It's an overall trend follow, regardless of the quality of the trend. I am looking at this triple bottom likely holding. So notice I stepped out well in front of size with the placement of this 81.80 second profit target. So I want to share this setup with you because this is something that we could see a whole lot more of as we end up with more volatility in the chop that we're seeing across most of our pairs. And gosh, it's just the beginning of summer. So is this going to be the way the summertime trading season is going to pan out? Perhaps. Keep in mind these type of opportunities are going to happen quickly, and if you're ready for them, you can have those pending orders parked and ready. All right, I'll see you in the next update.